I want to talk about the messaging from Israel's deputy foreign minister, who said Syria's new leaders are wolves in sheep's clothing. Basically, many people in the Israeli government are not trusting this new Syrian leader, who is the distant remnants of al-Qaeda, trying to distance themselves from their Islamic radical past, many of them. But what should we make of this possible relation, or lack thereof, between Israel and these new Syrian leaders?
The new leadership in Syria is an enigma, and there are two basic questions. Does HTS under Ahmed Ashara really control the entirety of Syria, or will it become cantonized and basically will the state fall apart? And B, what kind of control will that be? There is a suspicion that they will run an Islamist and perhaps jihadist state, given their past ties to al-Qaeda, and given the fact that when they controlled Idlib in the northwest of Syria, that was, I would say, a middle-level Islamist rule. It wasn't Taliban, but it was not exactly, it wasn't Turkey. I mean, it was reasonably harsh. So that may have worked in that particular region. It won't work in Damascus without a lot of domestic resistance and all kinds of instability. And Israel's worried about Syria falling apart and all this weaponry ending up in the hands of people who do want to harm it, whether or not that's HTS. It looks like HTS has other fish to fry, but others in Syria, I mean, until recently, were absolutely Islamic statist. And so Israel's concerns are legitimate. And a lot of the criticism coming at Israel over its actions in the buffer zone and slightly beyond are a little hypocritical, considering that Turkey has troops in a much larger area of northern Syria, transparently in order to harm the Kurds because of their own domestic pathology involving the Kurds, and no one says a word. And of course, the U.S. still has troops, and Iran has effectively occupied parts of Syria. So to not be understanding of Israel is a little bit, it's unfair, put it that way. But I have to agree with Ariel. Israel's messaging is abysmal. And that continues the pattern that we've seen throughout this war. The Prime Minister favors showboating appearances, speeches at the UN that really no one wants to hear because it's a show and a circus, or these, social media videos that are basically pure politics. Israel should have had high-level news conferences where they explained what they're going to do and reached out to the new leadership in Syria in no uncertain terms, explained its purpose, and offered its hand outstretched, and also maybe set conditions. What is needed for Israel to be calmed down, and basically to explain why it isn't calm, because it has such a good case, but it has no one to prosecute that case. And let's just say that the deputy foreign minister has never been accused of an excess of intelligence, and that's not the voice that anyone is looking for, looking to when it comes to understanding what Israel wants. It needs the prime minister.
A quick thought, and then we're moving on to
just to put into figures the double standard that Israel is being put into, as according to Turkey. Israel has been striking for 8-9 days now. It stopped today. Hundreds of targets across Syria. To my knowledge, there hasn't been one casualty. Even you can look in Syrian media. Turkish forces on the ground and from the air have been continuously targeting Kurdish elements in northern Syria, killing dozens almost daily. No word about that, no outcry, at least nothing closely comparison to what Israel is dealing with in its strikes against the remnants of the Syrian army.
And it must be said, the Syrian Kurds do not constitute a threat to Turkey. They have never once made a threat against Turkey. I understand that Turkey hates all Kurds, but Turkey's case is so weak and Israel's case is so strong.
There's a lot more going on here.
It is infuriating to see the double standard.